All right, we are live. All right, Will. So first time checking out YouTube live. I'm seems like we got 8 people hopping on already, so that's not bad, guys. Welcome to the new platform. Welcome to YouTube live. Thank you very much for joining us and for the continued support throughout these webinars. We appreciate it, and we do it for you guys. I'm gonna test the chat right here. If you
For the
guys
kids.
get my comments, drop your questions on the chat. We'll be here to answer. Will.
Am I visible or you can see me? I can talk.
We see you. You can talk. Talk to the people.
All right.
What's going on?
Great. What's going on, everybody? Guys, girls, men and women of all shapes and sizes. What's going on? We had something pretty cool, in my opinion, to talk about. Unfortunately, the main topic of conversation is going to be AI, so artificial intelligence, regarding specifically the real estate space. The only snag is that it's become so popular in the last few days, and it's been in the news so much that the servers right now are down and we can't do a live demo as we would like to. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I have started to use it in my business, among other things. And I got to say, first of all, unbelievable platform. Like all industries across the board are about to be blown away by this technology. I demoed it this afternoon to Henry, and dude,
scary, man. I was blown away, to be honest.
Yeah, it's badass. It's scary in a great way how intelligent and how good it is right off the bat. And I'm just talking about specifically, we demoed it specifically for real estate, wholesaling, fix and flip, marketing, etc. And the technology is just absurd. It's awesome. So anyway, so look, we can't demo the live version, and I don't know if maybe we want to wait a little bit before a bunch more people sign in before we start.
Yeah, well, we got 10 people signed on, so it's not bad. Let's get it going. I have the website open here, so I'll refresh it every so often to see if it's working. But yeah, dude, like just off the bat, I start thinking about our industry, especially for SEO purposes and things like that. There is so much that we could do with this. What do you think is like the first thing that's going to be affected, and what would you say is like a job that you see at risk as this AI gets smarter and more user friendly?
Yeah, look, so right off the bat, I see it as and I'm speaking specifically towards wholesaling and our real estate business, right? I see it right off the bat as replacing a lot of administrative roles. So VAs right off the bat there's a lot of stuff that I don't want to replace my VAs, not anytime soon, but there's a lot of mundane tasks and actual thinking like we would think as business owners and operators, and marketing jobs. Like I'll give an example so people understand what we're talking about. So it's like a chat bot, right? And we'll try again throughout this live to see if the servers come back on. But it's like a chat bot, right? Where you type something in and it starts to spit answers, and then it's literally as far as your imagination can run, it's what it's going to do. Okay, now it's very limited right now. It's a free version of it, but even the free version is badass. So yes. One example that we did today earlier, Henry and I, was if anyone in here is using texting as a platform, just please say I'm texting on the chat so we know how many people are doing it. So for example, if you're text blasting to a seller, right? I typed in a basic message, like a template for what we use in launch control, right? Which would be hello, and then the little brackets name, where that would be auto filled in, and it says comma, my name's Will, I was driving by the neighborhood, wanted to see if you were interested in selling 123 Main Street. And I just typed that in as an example, right? And you type the bracket and then the address. And what it it got it, and I said, make me 15 variations of this message without the words, and then you put quotes, offer, cash, this, that, words that we know the servers are going to block, right? The carriers are going to block from delivering that message. And dude, this thing within 30 seconds just started real time, just typing out 15 perfect variations of messages that I couldn't have written better. He couldn't have written better. I'd venture to say that a marketing specialist couldn't have written better. And it took 35 seconds. And then you can copy and paste those, and now you have 15. If you said 100, it would kick out 100 different templates. So now you can rotate these messages, and you just copy and paste it into your launch control. I mean, how cool is that, right? Another thing that we did was write me a pre-foreclosure blog, for SEO purposes, for internet, for search engine optimization. And it wrote out a paragraph, a page and a half, perfect SEO article, original, just getting information from here to there, an explanation of what pre-foreclosure, and you could copy and paste that and use that to optimize your site. You can even also grab, tell me the top 10 sites to pull motivated seller lists, and it's gonna all the way through, and it's gonna give you all those things. And then eventually this technology, where I see it going, is what I want to do is, here's my last 100 deals that I did. Here's all the data. Go find me 100 more sellers just like it. And it will artificially break down those deals, what the triggers were, what all these filters, millions of data that it grabs within seconds, and it'll grab you another, a lookalike audience. Or for example, I could say, out of my 16,000 leads in my CRM, mimic these last 100 sellers that sold to me. And it will statistically find the highest converting people based on the data that it's seeing. So the information, the technology is amazing. I mean, it's only been really mainstream for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days or something. But I had been experiencing, playing around with this technology for about a week and a half, and I think it's unbelievable. No doubt that it's going to be the next thing in the real estate world. Every guru and their mother is going to be creating courses about this, etc. And using that to their advantage. So I love it. I love it. I can't say enough.
So one thing that's important, right, is using AI to understand our avatar of a client, right? And using AI to predict the probabilities of one of our leads becoming a deal, right? We could probably be doing that very soon. So this poses a threat to data companies, do you think? And as far as predictive data, which is something that we talked about in our last webinar, what do you think about pulling predictive data? And do you think predictive data is in for a surprise and is going to get significantly cheaper or more accessible? Thoughts on that?
I think it's going to be more accessible. There's no doubt. The way that AI works is that it's a database, and really it's a bunch of supercomputers that pull from the entire internet. So that's why when you type something in, like for example, we did another little test where we were like, what is wholesaling? Just randomly, what is wholesaling? And it gave us a perfect 3-paragraph answer. I couldn't describe.
We could not have come up with that answer. Yeah, it was
better than this freaking AI bot. I really couldn't. So as it goes, it's also learning. So as you ask it more questions and more queries and more inquiries, it's getting better at that. So it starts to learn what you're looking for, what you're not looking for, and where to find the information. So it's like Google on steroids. When you type in something to Google, it indexes things, and then you got to type into, you got to click into them and then go look for that. This deciphers billions of articles and things, and then it spits you out an answer, which is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So yeah, I think predictive data is definitely for sure.
The tweet I sent you from Pat Davis, dude, imagine you could hire somebody that has read every single book in the world, has searched through every single website in the world, and basically knows everything.
Correct.
As a virtual assistant. Okay, cool, you have it. Here it is.
Yep. AI. It's AI. Follow-up sequences, email follow-up sequences, text follow-up sequences, anything like that. Pulling data, how to skip trace, the best skip tracing services, etc. Dialers are going to get artificial intelligence now too. Who to call, who not to call, based on calling schedules and stuff like that. And people, when they take calls, when they don't, when the servers are going to allow calls to come in. I mean, all that now is up for grabs. So not to get too nerdy about it, but it's a shame that I'm trying to refresh it here, but it's a shame that we can't use it right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but it's not.
It's down right now.
Well, if we can't get it within the next 30 minutes, we'll make a video about it, guys. And
yeah.
We'll make sure to record it. We'll put it up on YouTube, and we'll share the link on our Instagrams and stuff like that. You can hold us
Absolutely.
We'll have it done by the end of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that you mentioned, that's AI goes both ways, right? It could work for us and it could work against us, especially in the marketing world. And dude, I'm kind of going into interview mode because I know you're the data guy. You like data more than I do. So, getting flagged as spam, our phone numbers getting flagged as spam is becoming a big thing, especially in my business. My business, I live off of cold calling, bro. That's my bread and butter. So it's becoming a thing. And these servers, dude, believe it or not, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile have a lot more money than you and I. And they're investing a lot into fighting these spam calls and stuff like that. So what have you pivoted and what have you done to kind of get your numbers unflagged or worked around that?
Yeah, so I rotate my numbers every 2 days. So every 1 to 2 days, I'm rotating numbers. My call rail numbers, I'm doing the same thing. If it's smartphone, same thing. Any dialer that you're using, I would highly recommend that you're rotating your numbers. At this point, we used to do it once every 2 weeks, then it was once every week, and then it was once every 4 days. Now you pretty much have to do it every day or every other day.
The crazy thing is, dude, I'll buy new numbers and they'll come in as spam. So we're
that's a problem too. Testing them is a big thing.
Yeah.
You have to always test them. Make sure with your own phone or with other people's phones, a couple people's phones, 4 or 5 people, make sure that you're calling to these people. And if it pops up as scam likely, don't use that number, right? There's nothing worse than buying a bunch of data, paying a bunch of money, having top tier skip tracing, and then your results are trash. By the way, and if you're not getting at least on average 8 to 12% contact rate, that is a big red flag for you to look at these things and look at spam.
On the cold call side.
On the cold call side, yes. Mm-hmm. The cold call side, the industry standard should be around 10% for sure.
That's our goal, yeah.
There's ways to scale that, and we can get into more detail like that. Data's one of them. Your skip tracing being one of them. You're deduping this data, which is deduplicating the data. You're making sure you're refreshing your numbers. So all these things go into play. Latency on lines, right? Stuff like that. So those are all things.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's important. And the same thing with text messaging, bro. These text messages, they're not even coming in most of the time to the homeowner. So that's also become, it's something that we always got to be adapting with. And that's how AI could work against us in our business too. We're not the only ones using it. The servers are doing it to protect their clients, which at the end of the day are you and I as well. So it's funny how we're on.
Listen. There's things, and I don't want to scare anybody on this call. I always get excited with things like this because number one, I've accepted the fact that, like it or not, it's coming, regardless. There's nothing you and I can do about it. Nobody on this call, not even Jeff Bezos, could stop something like this, right? So at the end of the day, accept it. It's coming. What's the best thing you can do after? Pivot with it and use it to the best of your ability. So years ago, when text blasting became a thing, it was the new thing. And then people were like, oh, well, this is, then it kind of fizzled out. You know what? We still get deals every single month from texting. So that's one example. Another example was RVMs, ringless voicemails. Years ago, they were a novelty. I started in 2017. I remember late 2018 or so, 2019 maybe, it was like the new shit. And man, once we started using it, dude, we had like an 8-month runway where we were getting deals left and right from RVMs. And then what happened? It fizzled out, right? It was, but it's also a legal issue, obviously. With AI, for now at least, it's not a legal issue because all of the stuff that you can, I would use AI as a tool to be able to break down your data, some predictive modeling if you wanted. And by predictive modeling, by the way, folks, we mean take this and tell me these deals that happen already, what characteristics does my data set have, and who are the next people that look like these people that I could market to with the highest probability of it converting. So again, I think AI is going to be great. Either way, it's here to stay. They just got valued at $30 billion. They're not going anywhere. And they've been around for 7 days. They just got a $30 billion, billion with a B, valuation. That was it's, it's probably $1 trillion company, honestly, down the line. No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt.
I mean, and I keep refreshing the page. That's why you guys see me keep looking over at this screen. I'm trying to get it to work because I want to show you guys. But the video will be up. Hold us accountable to that. Meanwhile, Corey has a question about where we source our numbers. So we source our numbers from Signal Mash. That's where I've noticed I get the best amount of phone numbers that don't come spam already. Before I was buying numbers from Call Tools, which is my dialer, and dude, half the numbers that you buy, you end up paying for them and they come in as spam already. So we use Signal Mash and we rest our numbers and rotate them to try to get, try to protect them as best we can. We also have one HubSpot phone number inside our CRM, which we only use when we're making a very hot dial to make sure that we preserve it for as long as possible. So my guys will say, hey, this is my personal cell phone number, write it down. And it's the HubSpot number, which we only use to make very hot dials. We're not going to dial 100 times with it because that's not a number that we want to rotate frequently. So yeah, check out Signal Mash for sure.
Awesome. I wrote it down. What other questions do we have there? Because I can't see the chat.
Corey's asking about the service, the AI service. Man, I want to share it with you guys.
It's called OpenAI, and the bot is called Chat GPT. So that's the little bot that you can do. Another cool thing that because I'm a nerd for this shit, but I started playing around with it and I showed Henry, your ARV, right? When you calculate your offers, most people do that shit manually. Me, I sent you my calculator. You have one too, where you can just type it in, right, and make it easy. Dude, I typed in, make me an Excel macro of ARV times 80% minus rehab minus assignment fee. And the thing literally just went, and it just kicked out a perfect formula. And it said, just copy, paste, press F5 in Excel, end of story. And it took all of 15 seconds. It was unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you can even write more advanced. I've been watching a lot of videos on this, but you can actually write more advanced code or questions and say, hey, here's 100 properties. These are the values. Generate me offers based on that formula. And it'll kick out 100 offers for you in real time. So, again, I'm looking at it as a volume business. I'm looking at it as efficiency. That's what matters to me. It's efficiency, and it's getting there faster, and it's taking less work or more work off of some of my employees. And it does it better. It does it better. A VA will not be able to write, no offense to any VAs, I have a ton of them, but VAs are not going to be able to create these text messages and switch them and do different variations and a follow-up email sequence and communicate with they're not going to be able to do that. No.
How about blog posts, bro?
Blog posts too.
What it kicked out when we asked for a foreclosure blog post, that's invaluable for SEO, dude. It's just, we can't even come up with that, and the time that it took what, 45 seconds to give you 10 paragraphs. It's truly amazing. So Carlos is asking what CRM you recommend. Carlos, so I'm actually on my third CRM right now. I had Podio. I moved to Salesforce. Podio was not customizable enough. Then I moved to Salesforce. It was a nightmare for me. It has so many options. It's such a big system that it's hard to tailor to what you need. So I'm currently using HubSpot. I think it's more user friendly. And I have some developers working on it right now that we're making steps towards the right direction, and I'm happy with HubSpot so far. So I would look into HubSpot. And yeah, you can reach out to me on Instagram or whatever if you'd like some recommendations.
I have Salesforce. I have a love-hate relationship with Salesforce. I just, we were talking about this the other day. I've probably spent close to 200 grand at this point developing out my little Salesforce, and it still doesn't fucking work. So the way that it's supposed to. So that's kind of
Salesforce is designed for companies. Dude, Uber uses Salesforce. Chase,
they're enterprise level. Yeah, they're enterprise level operations. But listen, honestly, I would go back to Podio right now. Like, I would go back to my badass version of Podio because of the experience that I've had with Salesforce. I'm just being real. Now, I'm not going to do it because I'd want to kill myself if I did that after everything I've done. But yeah, I mean, HubSpot is great. Podio is great. I like Podio. There's a bunch of different things that you can do within Podio and Salesforce and HubSpot, et cetera. Listen, for anybody on this call that that is newer or doesn't have like an organization and everything, I'm telling you, you do not make the mistake that I made where you're trying to overcomplicate things too early on in your career. All right. You don't need a badass, ridiculous, special little buttons and workflows and connection. You don't need all that. You do not need all that. I ran my business on Podio for almost 4 years. Did millions of dollars in revenue. It didn't stop me, is what I'm trying to say. So don't try to overcomplicate it either. That's what I would say on it.
Yeah, and it's going to take a while before you really outgrow. My problem is you start outgrowing Podio. Once you get big, there's a lot less you can do with it. I mean, maybe I didn't have the right developers or I wasn't tech savvy enough to develop it to what I needed. But it took me a while before I started to feel like I was outgrowing it, especially when you're starting out, man. The CRM is, I mean, I don't want to say it's the least of your worries, but just make sure you're building it out efficiently. And as you scale, it becomes more and more important. And the earlier that you catch that, and the earlier that you it's almost like keep it simple, stupid, don't overcomplicate it. The better off you'll be, because it's tough when you're migrating 10,000 leads from one CRM to the next. Like, it's easy for shit to get lost in the shuffle. And the last thing that you want is a lead that cost you blood, sweat, and tears and a shitload of money to be lost in the shuffle. But sometimes it's cost of doing business, bro. You got to do it sometimes.
Listen, don't try to have fancy shit too early on. Okay, just take it from me. It's not worth it. It doesn't generate you more money. It doesn't make you have more deals or make you do more deals. Okay, it's just efficient. And until you need that, completely unnecessary. Your focus should be on getting good data, marketing out, following up with that marketing, making sure you're tracking your KPIs, and doing more deals. Period, point blank. Revenue generating activities. How can I generate more money through the pipeline? A CRM is not a sales function. It's not. It's an ops function. It's just operations. That's all it is. So don't get it complicated. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Same goes for personal life, dude. Don't buy fancy shit until you're ready. But
I watch, baby. That's all you need. Take it from me.
Button.
Had all the Rolexes and all the bullshit. You don't need it. This one actually tracks better. My Rolex doesn't even track my workout, my calories. So that's all you need.
It's Bluetooth, bro.
You don't need stupid shit. You don't need a fancy car. You don't need that shit. Trust me. You don't need it.
Corey's asking if he thinks big hedge funds like BlackRock, Blackstone are already using AI. And
absolutely.
Brandon comments, dude, AI doesn't even have access to the internet yet. So like, we are in baby stages of this technology, which is scary.
Listen, if you don't think, I have a really good connection at a hedge fund. If you don't think that the smartest money in the country, probably the world, is using AI to source more volume of deals, you're sadly mistaken. Period. That's all I'll say. And by the way, speaking on hedge funds for a second, they're back. They're coming right back, and they're getting ready to deploy. These people have shifted and shuffled around tens of billions of dollars waiting for this shit to go down. And they're gonna start buying any day now. Some of them have already started buying. So just focus on that.
Bro, the craziest thing happened today. I received a personalized email from an Open Door rep saying, oh, look, he just replied. Chris Kelly. He emailed me 3 hours ago inviting me to lunch. I don't know if you remember when the whole Open Door craze, I was selling a bunch of properties to Open Door. I was really using them to my advantage. Hey, and I rode that wave the best I could. But
sure.
You're saying this institutional capital is back. And the fact that a human being, like you can tell this is handwritten, reached out to me to invite me to lunch is crazy. He just sent me, I'll be in Miami soon. We could grab lunch. Here's my calendar. So,
yeah. I mean, it's
these guys are investing in people like us. And hey, best believe I'm going to go to lunch with this guy and I'm going to tell him, bro, this is my business model. This is what I was doing. And I'll tell you guys straight up what I was doing with Open Door. I would get an offer from Open Door. I would close with the seller, my A to B contract, and then just double close the Open Door. Sometimes they got a little tricky to where I had to hold the property for 10 days. Bro, there was properties I was making 70 grand on. I'll hold the property for 10 days. You know,
all day.
Yeah,
all day. It's just arbitrage. That's all it is. I mean, it's wholesaling, just a different. I mean, it's wonderful. It's genius. And those are the kinds of things that when you see an opening in the market with something like that, exploit the shit out of it and hammer down and then stack that capital for another day. You know, that's something I wish I would have done a lot more earlier on in my career. I wish I would have not really relied on the good times. I wish I would have been like, okay, let me save a little bit more, let me save a little bit more, let me save a little bit more for the bad times. You know, I mean, it's gone well for me, but in other words, it could have gone better, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I agree. Same for me, dude. But everyone in hindsight's a genius, right?
Hindsight, yeah. In hindsight, everyone's a stud.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what this Open Door thing that turns into. But I mean, I'm excited to get these kinds of emails. It means institutional capital is back, and God knows I rode the shit out of that wave. I was on my Instagram. We spoke about it. I sold a lot to Open Door, and I did very well, luckily, while that was still around. So we'll see if round two comes next, man. And it's always, especially in the market that we're coming into now, you're hearing people more reverse engineer deals. Like, especially me right now, I have lists all over Florida. Well, right now I'm targeting my hot, which is Miami-Dade, Broward, Hillsborough, and Pinellas, because I know that's where I have my buyers. And I'd be lying if I tell you my buyers list is as strong as it was a year ago. You know, I don't think anybody's buyers list is as strong as it was a year ago. So the fact that I'm receiving stuff like this, it gives me hope.
Listen, right now, everything is cycles, right? Everything's cycles. Watch. Now, if mortgage interest rates drop from where they are, like 6.1 or 6.05.
Prime today is at 6.125. I saw that, and that's, dude, a whole point better than we were a month ago.
Just wait. When that dips, even 5.999, but there's a 5 in front of it, you're going to start seeing a nice little uptick in buyers. It's just what's going to happen. And then you're going to see a mini frenzy. It won't be like 2 years ago, you know, when the rates were 2.5%. I mean, it was free money. But you're going to see it. And then watch, 6-8 months from now, we won't be having this conversation. We'll be like, oh, wow, man, we're back.
So back to some nerdy shit. CPI report is coming out soon. What do you expect? And do you think we're going to see some positives as far as inflation getting under control, which could result in interest rates getting a little bit better for us? Or what do you expect?
I mean, I think it's probably going to go down a little bit.
Interest rates?
No, yeah, interest rates, they're going to follow, you know, the CPI. But the CPI, once it goes down a little bit, I think that inflation is going to be a little bit down this time. And I say air quotes because I think those CPI numbers are full of shit. you know, I mean, it's no secret. All this shit is manipulated anyway on a very, very, very high level. But yeah, I think we went from like 9% to 7.2 to 6.9. I mean, you know, it's not huge numbers that, you know, oh my God, we cut inflation by half. That won't happen. But even if Wall Street or, you know, Main Street sees a little bit of oh, hey, we controlled it a little bit. And I think one of the biggest moves that a stupid move that the Fed can do is to stop raising rates right now. I think it's too early. That's just my opinion. I'm just a humble guy over here, but I think it's too early, you know. But I probably think that in January they're going to go from 50. They're probably either going to stay at 50 basis points or go down to 25 basis points.
If I had to bet, I'd bet they go down to 25 basis points. I don't think they stay still.
Right.
But I definitely think this might be the last hike that we see of the year, if not like second to last. I don't know if that's too optimistic of me.
I think that might be a little bit optimistic, but who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? These people, listen, this it is what it is, bro. You listen to these guys at the Fed, and granted, they don't have an easy job, but these are all Harvard, Yale, friggin' MBA, you know, 10 degrees per employee there. You know, they're all the smartest MIT people, and you know what? They come out one day, oh, inflation's, and then the next week, the next couple months, they come out, they're like, whoa, we didn't expect it to be that bad. And it's like, oh, okay, well, you know, like what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah. So whatever, man. I don't think I could do their job any better. So
no,
it is what it is.
Very hard job.
Cool. So, guys, if we have any questions, I mean, the best thing about these webinars and when we're answering people's questions live. So please drop them in the chat. And I think this is a very exciting time to be in real estate. I'm actually in the process of I'm onboarding an acquisition guy now, and I have another guy onboarding next week on Wednesday. So that's extremely exciting. And we're in a good business, man. One thing that today I was making a video for Instagram, right? And the vertical integration between having the flip side of the business, the rental side of the business, and the wholesale side of the business all stands on your ability to source a direct to seller deal. If you are a fix and flipper and you're listening to this webinar right now, if you can't source a direct to seller deal, I'm very sorry to tell you, you will not be picking up a property in Miami Gardens for $130K. It's not going to happen unless you have a wholesaler that has no idea what they're doing. Now, as a wholesaler, dude, it's probable. I'm negotiating a deal right now at $175K in Miami Gardens. I just got to find this lady a place to move, and it's worth $400. You think I'm going to pass that on to the flipper at $175? Absolutely not, dude. I'm going to squeeze the juice out of that deal.
Tell the lady that I will come in the U-Haul truck myself.
Yeah, I told her she can move into my house, bro. I have 2 guest rooms, but she can
come live with me for the time. We'll split the deal 50-50. It's fair. No problem.
Even if that deal doesn't close, it's just the point is wholesalers are going to squeeze the juice out of these deals, guys. So vertically integrating your businesses and not being just a one-trick pony is so important. And that's kind of what we preach, bro. Like, I flip a lot more than Will. Will wholesales a lot more than me. We like one side of the business more than the other personally, but we both understand the importance of taking down your own deal and sourcing your own deal for the big pops.
Yep. The difference is that, Henry is really good at the whole aesthetics thing. His houses look beautiful. Not to say that mine don't, but I would just much rather close on it and either wholesale it or close on it, paint, patch, throw it out to the MLS and, rip my money. And it's just more speed for me. Plus I'm not very good at rehab. It's never been my forte. My mom is phenomenal at it. She flips a lot of houses. God bless her. I think she's on this call as a matter of fact, but I passed on the good rehabs to her, and I'm just like, you do it. I'm not aesthetically inclined like you are. Do we have any other questions or anything else?
Oh, well, Miguel comments that the Magic is buying right, and that is it's absolutely right, bro. You can't fuck up if you got it at a great deal.
And here's the beautiful thing too, that up economy, down economy, middle economy, problems are everywhere. Sellers have problems at the height at the bottom, in the middle, on the way up, on the way down, diagonal, whatever, they all have problems across the board. Problems don't go away. So when there's a bad economy, problems don't get smaller. Statistically, problems get bigger. People's desperation grows more. People's
You get more problems. Yeah.
You get more problems. People that were barely in a problem that didn't want to sell to you, now guess what? Now they're really in a problem. Now they have to sell. People that were already in a problem, bad economy, way bigger problem. It just slides the scale. You know what I mean? So there's always an opportunity, you know, to continue to buy. And again, it's a skill set. Being able to find an off-market property is just in this business. But you can apply that. That's a skill set. That is a real tangible skill, which is sourcing a below market opportunity and fixing a problem and then bringing it to a market and making a spread. That's what you're doing. It's arbitrage. It's been around since the times of the sand.
It's been around wholesaling before, and it wasn't all over Instagram. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's guys that I know that are mentors of mine that have been doing this since the 80s, and they're like, dude, we used to call it just quick turn real estate.
Quick flip, yeah.
I was like, quick turn? No, it was quick turn, and then it was quick flip, and then it was this, and then it was wholesale, and now it's something different. I know Cody Sperber just came out with something the other day, which is a quick flip now. Now he's calling it quick flip. It's fucking wholesale. It's what it is. It's arbitrage. It's,
no matter what you call it.
Done. You're the B, there's an A and a C, and you're good to go. That's all it is. People have been doing this forever. And it goes to show you that the business has only gotten better. So don't be distracted by that. Someone over here asked me, how to identify a good market, to get into. I would venture to say start in your own backyard. There's sellers and there's buyers everywhere. Okay, and I'm not, for any smart ass who's on the call, I'm not talking about some podunk town in Nebraska. All right, I'm talking about there's opportunities everywhere. And even if you did live in Nebraska, you can find the nearest metropolitan area and go source that. So find some sellers, figure it out, pick up the phone, and then find a buyer. And you know what? Come to places like this, find a mentor, good coaching program, whatever it is, right? And there's a lot of them out there. But, we do mentoring, we do coaching, we do it in South Florida. So again, it's opportunities everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Opportunities everywhere. And just don't ever think, I get this question all the time where people are like, do you think it's too late to get into the business? Or do you think that now is a good time? Listen, newsflash. No one's waiting around just for you. That is very egotistical. I used to feel the same way. In 2017, this is a good time to get into. You know what? I rode the best 6 years of my life, and it's 2023. And now it's a bad time. Bullshit. 2 years from now, we'll be talking, wow, you remember those 2 years that we rode? It's the same shit. So at the end of the day, any time is a good time for you to get involved. You just need to get involved. You just need to make the move and move your ass. That's all you need to do.
Dude, and we're in a beautiful time right now because you said it, up market, down market, market going up, market all the way down. There's always opportunity to make money. The only weird time is when the market is dropping, because it's like the analogy that you said multiple times, you're trying to catch a falling knife. Guess what? Knife is closer to the bottom, guys. And when the knife gets on the floor, you can pick it up real easy. So I think we're getting into a beautiful time to be in the industry that we're in.
And also, this is more of a mindset thing. But look, one thing you have to think of is just train. Your mind is going to see whatever it is that you're looking for. You ever notice if you're in a bad mood, everything sucks.
Yep.
Everything. Somebody could say hello to you in the elevator and you're like, fuck that guy. Who the hell does he think he is, right? Like, why is he so freaking happy? It's because you're angry. You know what I'm saying? So if you're only viewing like, oh, there's no opportunity, there's no this, there's no that, guess what the universe is going to send your way?
No opportunity.
No opportunity. But if you're viewing, hey, you know what? Time sucked, whatever. I'm blocking it out. I've been doing this long enough. I know that there's opportunity out there. I believe that there's opportunity out there. I'm going to go find it. It might not be, it's just harder now. But when I find it, I'm off to the races. So if you identify that way, dude, the biggest transfers of wealth in the history of this country have been in shitty economic times.
Yep.
Period, point blank. Everybody, listen, a rising tide raises all ships. Okay? Fact. What you're going to see now is the transition of professional versus, oh, I have my realtor's license and this is a hobby.
Yep.
That's what you're going to see. That's the difference.
And you're already seeing wholesalers, fix and flippers, people just completely shit out. Like, I want nothing to do with real estate anymore. Guys, that makes me excited. Like, this is giving me opportunity. Competition is thinning out. It's a good thing. We had too many people in here and it was crowded in this room anyway, you know? So
every day that goes by, and this is just how my mentality is. I've gone through fucking super tough times, high time, bad time, whatever, just like anybody else, right? My problems aren't bigger than anybody else's. The reality is that I just remind myself, hey, you can quit any other day, just not today. You can quit tomorrow, but you can't quit today. That's just the reality. And I've already trained my mind for 6+ years to just think that way. So I know that when a bunch of piles of shit are coming my way, I'm like, you know what? It's all good. They're just feelings. It is what it is. Tomorrow's another day. And if tomorrow sucks, guess what? Tomorrow's another day, and tomorrow's another day, and tomorrow's another day. So every day that I stay involved, every day that I stay in the pocket, and I just resist, I withstand just a little bit more pain, I know that somebody else has quit. Somebody else has gone away. Somebody else has gone to bed. Somebody else has quit and gotten a job. So now I know my chances are better. And then when you do that, that builds self-confidence. That builds confidence in you. And when you say you're going to do something, the best way to build self-confidence, fucking do it. Do it and follow through on it. And
don't talk yourself out of it. Don't negotiate with yourself, which is something that people always say.
For sure. I listen, I've had bad days, whatever. I just don't negotiate with myself. Period. If my mind says we're going, my body's like, I don't want to go. I'm like, fuck you, we're going. And we go. That's it. And it sucks. It's hard. It's not freaking easy. But I move my ass. And then you know what happens? Especially the days that you don't want to do it, the best things that seem to happen on those days for me. The best. A deal comes in, new opportunity, whatever. It's always the same shit. And it just gets better and better and better and better. And you grow through it. And then eventually it doesn't hurt so bad.
Dude, how many times have you gone through tough times, whether in the business, personal, whatever, and now looking back at it is like, damn, I was so over exaggerated. Like, I was really crying about this shit so bad. And this was really the end of the world to me back in 2021. And you got through it. And it is what it is, you know?
100%. I can think back in the last 6+ years of being in this business, there's probably 157 different times that I thought my entire world was over. Life was over. Oh my God, I'm going to die. It's over. And guess what? I'm still here. So that's just the reality. And you can be too. You know, I'm sure that everywhere in your life, personal, business, whatever, it's all just a matter of perspective. And it's a matter of, hey, today sucks. Tomorrow's going to be better. I'm moving on. I'm still going to do what I need to do to move on. That's it. It's just staying power. That's all it is.
Understanding your why and keep pushing forward. So we went from AI to mindset to depression and getting over it, a little bit of everything, guys. So that's what you can expect at these webinars.
Dude, somebody here and somebody on live, I mean, needs to hear it, you know? Most of the days I say it and it's to me. So
no, the real operators, we are really in the trenches every day. We are really doing this. Like, you're in your office. I'm in my office still, you know? We don't have this acoustic seating in my house. This is what we do, guys, and we're really doing this, and we're going through the same struggles that you are. So we want to listen to you guys bring questions up. That is when we do our best, when we're answering questions live on the chat. As Will said, we're soft launching our mentorship and our coaching program. So if you guys want information on that, by all means, hit me up, book a meeting with me. You guys have my Instagram and all that stuff. I'm also dropping a link to my Calendly to book a meeting. And I hope to see everyone at our live event, January 26th, where we're going to start really pushing the marketing. Tomorrow I should have all the assets ready. So Will, we're excited about that, right?
Very excited. It's going to be a live event in Fort Lauderdale. It's free. We're just going to be talking a lot about real estate, etc., mindset, networking, panel style, some questions, Q&A, anything. We can run a live deal there. I mean, it's going to be very interactive. There's not going to be a set curriculum to talk about or all that crap. Not going to have some special hotshot guests. We are the guests, so we're going to be talking about it. And, you know, just looking to connect with people in the market. We do deals in South Florida. That's why the event is in South Florida. So if you ever wanted to, you know, just to come learn, meet, etc., network, if you have a deal, bring the deal. Talk about the deal, a struggle you're going through. Maybe I'll buy it. Maybe Henry will buy it. Maybe we'll partner. Maybe we'll JV. Maybe I'll loan you on it. I don't know. But bring the deal. And that's the point. The point is the opportunity, and the point is to be in that room and learn and have a good time. I'm looking to learn from some people. I'm looking to meet some people and just to help out however way I can.
Absolutely. Event's going to be at the Illuvion. So we're going to be there on Thursday doing like a site walk. Check us out on Instagram, Henry Lee 2 and Willie Numbers. Make sure you keep up with what it is that we're doing with the events. And Thursday, you might get a sneak peek of what the venue is going to look like and more information on when the event's going down, where, and you can RSVP for that ASAP. So this was our first live on YouTube. I appreciate everybody that joined. This will be living on YouTube. We do this for the people. Share it with the people. If there's anything we can get, is share this on Instagram.
For the
Invite
kids.
your friends. Tell them about it next Tuesday.
We do it for the kids, for the children.
That's it.
That's it. Oh my God.
All right. Love that button. All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right, guys.
Thanks for joining.
Have a good night.